Malaysia.
Ooh,
Right.
okay. Oh, it works. Except they don't show me the cost now. Oh, hi. Welcome to DevKami number 214. Last week I was not around, so no one else is around actually. So I was in Korea, by the way, which is another interesting story.
Which Korea? North
Uh,
Korea?
no, we can't go to North Korea. So ever since the whole assassination incident, then for some reason, North Korea government decided to hold a bunch of Malaysian diplomat hostage. They're being held for reasons lah. It's hostage and negotiate. So
Well, they are
after
not
that,
really people to be reasoned with anyway.
so yeah. So as a result, the Malaysian got back. Then very soon after that, the Malaysian government decide that there will be no
Nobody goes there.
official relationship. Yeah, they don't. Nobody goes there anymore. It used to be there is Malaysian go to North Korea
For
for
work, there
for
are
medical reason.
some.
Actually,
From what I heard, is there are some plantation workers in Malaysia that are North Korean.
correct, correct. Cut off down, officially cut off down, unofficially who knows, right? Uh, Actually, I need to find the DevOps meetup. Here you are.
Is it
Because I
back
forgot
up
to
these
add it to the
days?
calendar.
Is it back up
Yeah,
these
it's
days?
up.
The Platform Meetup.
Yeah, it's back up next week actually.
Okay.
So let's start.
Please.
Also, I go to South Korea last week, the whole week. Very interesting environment in a way that I
Did you
thought about
visit
it
the
more.
DMC?
No, I kind of don't have time for a lot of reasons.
Hmm.
So I would go if I go alone, but I don't. So it's a bit of rush lah because I go there for a wedding. So I decided to go with the extended family. So they have their own priorities, I have my own priorities. So we kind of, yeah, it's a bit tight. It's a bit tight. So so that happens. So yeah, lah, that which is why I'm not there. So let's start with our news. Then I go cover a bit more, and I'm going to cover we do have an event as soon as you know what? I'm going to do entire screen because what I'm going to do, I'm going to show me playing Factorial. Just kidding.
The Terror
Play
is a good
Factorial.
game.
I know.
Yeah, we can have a stream, just streaming playing Factorio.
Okay, so there is no event next week. Next week is 17. They're starting next week. So except something I forget to add. They forced me up on 17th Wednesday. It's happening. It's happening in Mind Valley by Confluent. Confluent. It's not Confluence. Okay, interesting. Let me go on. So there's Confluent thing about schema. So what Confluent is actually alternative to your queue system. Think of it as a stream. So it's optimized.
This
for
is not the
streaming.
Elation
Yeah.
Confluent, right?
No. This is Confluence. Oh my goodness. I hate this brand name. So this is about a way for you to send data across your network. So there's not queue. It's queue like but with extra stuff. Okay. So the first talk is by Confluent Engineer, of course. The next one is by Fadil by Mind Valley. So the tool is called Wukong. I do not know what the hell it is, but it is what it is. I registered already. So yeah, there's a space.
When
So
is this again?
DevOps
This
meetup.
next week.
Dev-
Next week.
Correct, 17.
Mm.
I will share the link in.
Yeah, just go to devkami.com/meetups.
Correct.
Correct?
Let me
Yeah.
close some files.
No, yeah.
Some files will be shown.
devkami.com/meetups and then.
Correct. You know what? I'm going to edit here anyway, because why not? I can add calendar. La 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 la. Got it. How do I add calendar again? Oh, create. I'm blind. There's a button. Sorry. DevOps Malaysia meetup. I fixed that. I fixed that later. 7. No, it's 7 p.m. 7 p.m. to 9. Let's put in 9. No. And description, link, how calendar, done. So yeah, so this happens, and that's about it. So let's go to our news. There's a lot of news, not a lot of interesting one, and two that I forget to add. So let's go one by one. GNU PG at ADSK. Then I'm going to select a few more interesting one from us. Some security one I won't cover lah, because it's a bit heavy. Oh yeah, by the way, this morning is Google I/O. So what it
Really?
means is that so the key.
Also, that's why I've been
Let me go
seeing
through.
like news about like your Pixel tablets and Pixel folding phone and
Correct.
all these.
Correct. So we don't cover a lot of we
The
don't
3D
cover consumer
tiles of
technology. But
Google
more
Maps.
interesting thing is that there is a push to put AI-based technology into the software suite by Google, the
Android
workspace
Studio.
suite,
The
the Suite Studio.
Google Deepfix.
Yeah, correct. They have a deepfake technology to essentially edit a photo. It's called edit, so you can
Okay,
edit
so
photos.
photos.
Then there
Because
is a
the other AI one is for code in their Android Studio, so
yep,
it automatically answers your questions on your code.
correct. So now I'm going to show this
It's
quickly, but
interesting.
so there's a fold phone. There is AI in all their product. There's BART. I'm going to show that later. There's some very cool stuff. Android, where this is not interesting. So Magic Editor to edit photos, deepfake, quote unquote. Push for AI into their workspace product, and that's about it really. Actually, it's a lot of stuff, but it is pretty much expected. So yeah, that's happening. More stuff happening. There's some map technology stuff that is very interesting, but I will not go through that because we do not do consumer technology. We should maybe we should one day, but not now. This is more interesting in the way that ADSK is additional decryption subkey. This allows you to add another key to decrypt a file. So this is very useful for business. So for example, if you need if you're in a high security environment, people will leave and people will come back. So what happens is you encrypt file using GNU-PG, for example, but you do not just encrypt using your employee's key. You also encrypt with your sub key. And
You
with
don't
this,
have
so
to
that
hand
you
in.
can
You don't have to hand in your key for
correct.
for continuity.
Correct. So this allows you to retrieve the data for an organization, right? So yeah, it's very cool actually. So anything to add on this?
Not really, but it's severely underused.
Underused. GNU-PG is one of those underrated technology that people just forgot about.
Do you use it
Because
for signing your email?
yeah, correct. I did use that occasionally, but not everyone in my circle uses it. So that's that lah. So I'm gonna move on.
Used to do that until the Apple Mail one decided to be not free, which
What do you
yes,
mean?
I'm
Why?
cheap. You have to pay for it, but the Thunderbird one is still fine.
Okay. So this one is very interesting because what happened is the Prime Video team actually decided to move back to monolith. So
Yeah,
as usual, because
it's not just monolith. Even is that from serverless back to
yep, correct.
server.
Correct. So don't just use microservice. That's the main point actually.
Of course,
And
for
it makes sense
performance,
for
is
them
that
because
it makes sense.
so correct. So you now understand that this is Amazon Video. They use They use this for their video analytics.
When you have enough traffic,
and
is
automatic video.
is cheaper that way.
Correct. So put it this way, when you have a lot of traffic, then you have one thing that do multiple traffic altogether. It's going to get very expensive really fast, right? So a lot of these things works in theory and in different contexts. So what do I mean by that? Most of the time it works until you have a situation, right? Different people need serverless for different reasons.
Well, again,
Most
speaking for
of
the sorry, yep, go ahead.
most of my experience is that you do not need microservices. Like unless your team really can work with each other, you really do not need uh, microservices. Uh, yeah, so there's that law. Yeah,
So
interested.
even in the beginning of computing, right? Like they found out that the most efficient use of time is to centralize. Oh, sorry, efficient use of resources to centralize it into like a central server and use time
Yes,
sharing. It's the same
correct,
with.
correct,
It's just that because back then scaling is like very um, difficult and very expensive, so that's how you would scale it.
correct,
uh, Even just if a few users is already scaling for them. But it's just that now
correct,
it's cheaper commodity hardware, or not really commodity, but it's like
mm,
cheaper hardware in terms of like per user cost. And so your scaling is
correct,
like tens of millions of like hits, but it's still the same
mm,
thing that most of the time batching things together and then putting it into like
Mm,
centralizing it would be more efficient use of uh,
correct,
like resources if it's doing the same thing
mm,
over and over. Like
correct,
if all you're doing is
correct,
like doing analytics, then having a large machine centralized server doing analytics for all everyone else is just more efficient instead of like putting it like in small processing
correct,
unit that lives and dies all the time. If you have a very
correct,
distributed and very varied kinds of workflows, maybe yeah, again the use cases are very different for serverless, and it's not always the answer to everything. It's not your like
correct,
what everyone is saying, your silver bullet. You have to know what you're going into, not just because you're
correct,
Amazon, yeah, that you're using S3 and then your Amazon sales rep says, oh, we have this service called serverless, you should try it, we'll give you free Amazon credits, and then now you're
mm.
stuck in
but
serverless, and
Now
it's
you need to ask for more
correct,
serverless
yeah.
credits.
Mm.
correct. So now I also will not recommend you to immediately switch to using your own server either. That'd be crazy. Now you need somebody to manage that
Both,
thing already.
yeah, it's
Uh,
that switching to server requires the knowledge of how things work, where things
correct.
are.
So context matters. This is
I would
so
say, I
senior
would say
engineers
serverless
suggest you use server.
is good when people want to get started, get their hands
Hmm.
dirty,
Correct.
to be able to see the
But it's hard
product
to move
before
on.
having to invest too much into learning the
Correct.
architecture, everything.
Correct.
But of course, that's the
My thing.
price that people had to pay lah, to catch up on
Correct.
that performance.
Correct. So what happened then is maybe once you have five microservices to do one product, maybe that's a bit too far for a five-person team, right? Okay, maybe 5 person team, 1 person to manage two
I
microservices.
would
It
say
get a bit too
a
fast.
bit over if people use ended up using servers for everything.
Correct. So yeah. So there is a price for everything. Choose one, and it depends on what you want. It doesn't mean it's not good. It's just that what you want to pay. So, for
Yeah.
example, nowadays Vercel actually do provide serverless based capability. Probably if you are front end focused, why not? Then here's what I also suggest: evaluate constantly. If it works for you, then good. Stick with it. But it's the same way that I try not to tell you to just get your own servers or learn your own thing. My thing is learn as much as you can, then make a decision from there. All right, I'm gonna move on. This is one of those things that I want to learn. EBPF for
Mm.
securities and all that. We don't have to use more of the time. It's just that
Not
what we
really
choose.
just for security.
Correct. Because for example, on Linux, top is already good, htop is already good, right? What the hell is
Top
running there?
is better.
Yeah, vtop is there's this for
Okay,
TSNX, right?
bash top is fine.
That
Yeah.
top.
Yeah. Then you got NCDU. You got most of your Linux tool is damn good. Okay, TCP, LS, what's the name of it? It's not TCP dump. Right? You get this LS. Most of the tools is Linux tools is very powerful. If you're cloud focused, then you may want to use the dashboard provided by your cloud services. Those are pretty good most of the time in the very beginning until you do very weird stuff. Then you use the profilers and all that. But as I say, this is you should expose to more tools, right? Because a lot of advanced tools are using eBPF to do your diagnosis, and this is just one of the things that you should learn if you can. You don't have to, but you should try anyway. I'm going to move on, and if not,
Mm-hmm.
so this one is just this is an article about how does large language model work. So this is a simulation. So instead of taking examples and build stuff over, right? These are very high level overview. It does not give you the detail how this works. So just an example of a high level overview for people that want to know. I'm going to move on. This one, Cantonese font. Um,
The
what do you
the
know about
difference is that the difference is the annotation at the top.
You mean this
How
one?
you pronounce it? Hawk. Yeah, this one.
Yeah,
No,
hot, right?
it's not a word. It is an extra annotation to the font.
Correct. Chinese. Ooh, you got this. Interesting. Focus. Can there is no such thing as a Chinese language. Okay. China is a very big country,
which
uh,
which
right?
one?
They got multiple region. Each
Like
region has
like
its
for
own
example,
history.
the one at the top is that it doesn't make sense in Mandarin.
Correct. Because in Cantonese it's called hawk, in Mandarin it's called sui, but in Hokkien it's called hawk, right? And Hakka probably the same. So they got like
And
this
Japanese
one is really
pronunciation is
interesting.
closer to this as well than
Correct.
Mandarin.
Then you got this is Piao Liang. In Cantonese, got we don't say Piao Liang. Yes, the word exists. Yes, Cantonese people understand it,
Liang.
but we call it Lai. Yeah, right. So, but there is similarity like Gua. Those are
The
similar
the
to
very
Chinese.
the very interesting thing is that this it's like literature, code literature, but is
Yeah,
that it's gonna change according to the context.
correct. Because thousands of years, language will mix, they will adopt. But in the end, China, thanks to thanks to Emperor Qin, when he unite be part of China, they kind of like unify on this language that every emperor since then attempt to do the same thing,
Mm.
right? As a result, they try to unify this thing. As a result, all language mix with each other. So yeah, so this is actually teaching Cantonese in fonts and all that. It's very cool. So anything to add? If not, I go move on.
No.
Cool. Web GPU. This person is very want to hype up a web GPU for a very good reason because the promise of using OpenGL and Vulkan is a whole other mess. Yes, there's game engine that use it. Yes, it works. No, it's actually a complicated set of
Vulkan,
technology.
I think Vulkan is supposed to be a low level API that's
Correct.
supposed to build
Correct.
tool on top of it. They're not
Correct. They're lower level and all that.
recommended
And
to.
more
You can do it, but it's like writing your webs, your CRUD in assembly.
correct. And then you have platforms that support their own technology, Metal, which only works for the iDevices. Then of course you have DirectX, which got compatibility uh, in ways of wine, right? Wine and all that. What's the Steam thing called?
Proton?
Proton.
A Proton, right? In a way, so they have that. So this article is about why web GPU will be different. So the short answer is web GPU because of browser is more standard than
So now you can
and
download your
target.
GPU.
Correct.
Yay!
No,
Mm.
it's more like you got a higher level interface for GPU for you to do low
Yay!
level game stuff, right? And because of the target, they have to bring it a lot higher level than your engineer. So as a result, this is cool because it's a higher level API and more compatible because browser have to support it, support this standard. Otherwise, they will left out. And so yeah, and I tend to agree because like it or not, across all platforms, the browser have to support a big enough subset of this standard for things to work. It can choose to do it, right? But it also depends whether people want to build uh, the same type of interactivity for games on web GPU on browser. My gut feeling says yes,
Definitely, it's
because
a yes.
yeah,
You just
correct.
need
It tend
the
to
right framework. We just need the rails for the web GPU.
correct. Uh, Potentially things like Unity and all that need to support it for things to work as well, because web people and game people is actually very different culturally. So yeah lah. So I'm going to move on. Do read it. It's very interesting. Uh, this one I'm going to skip a bit because I got example. I got example. Uh, can you see the example running? Okay. It take a while.
Mm-hmm.
You can help.
La,
You can let me SSH in so I can help you check whether it's
I did not
running.
set up all that. Okay, I'm going to move on before I go back there. So what a problem with, I know none of you people have to deal with GPU project for now. I do.
What are you talking about? It's just that we didn't advertise it.
Okay, you probably have it, and I probably don't talk about it like me. So that's the main one. So I do have to deal with this recently. Da 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 da. Let me show you. Da, da, da. Well, technically I do this, but this is not what I care about. This is what I care about. So, okay, you can see the video. Okay, it's doing it right
Mm-hmm.
now. Does it? Oh
It's
no,
not
they do not.
playing.
Okay, it's not doing the thing. Okay, I'm going to do it here. Okay. There's no sound, so it's fine. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
uh, okay, notice the automatic generation, a polygon generation. So this
But
is
you
something I
were
thought about for
showing
a
this
while.
last time, right?
This is
Correct.
segment, right?
But
Yes.
yeah, this segment anything, correct. We integrate it into a product, but to do that, requires compute, right? I'm actually struggling for now because currently I have to dedicate. So running this model on a small model itself takes around 2 GB. To generate the embedding takes 2 GB of RAM, a VRAM, and each of the operation takes 600 megabyte of VRAM. Okay, meaning every time you query, it will take 600 megabyte of VRAM. So I have, and so when you send data come in, I need to allocate like this 2 GB plus 2 GB, 4 GB or so, for me to actually run the model to generate the embeddings or do the search, right? There's a
Mm-hmm.
cost for it. So, and currently I don't have a serverless way to run this. I have to get a server. So yeah, so this is actually the article from A16Z, the the VC firm, right? So they talk about the compute and all that, how do that cost and all that. So yeah, this is actually a real problem if you decide to adopt this kind of project, because you will not this is not just a problem you want to do, the type of problem I have. So for example, if I do this if you don't choose oh sorry FG, if you do not choose to use OpenAI, I do not choose to use OpenAI, where the hell OpenAI, then you have to use your own model. As a result, you also need compute, like it or not, right? So this is actually a real problem. So the article is around this and how do you solve that lah, and what is available. So yes, currently as of now, the best way to do this is actually make deals with a cloud provider, because there's no good way for you to do this now. So do you have any solution, you guys?
No, well, I don't personally use it, so I don't know what to
Okay.
use it for.
You need GPU, and those things cost
You buy
around
GPUs.
$1
Yeah,
Actually,
local
costs
is
like
faster.
correct, right? Except we don't have that, so that one. Okay, this one.
But this is you can depreciate these things. You tell your accountant this is what do you call this, capital costs required for
Correct.
business.
Everybody yeah, agree on that. We try to make it. We try to make this leaner for us, lah. That's about it, lah. So I'm going to add this one quickly. This is actually trusted publisher, meaning this is actually a way for them to have a set of trusted service. For example, GitHub Action and all that, so that you can actually trust who can publish to PyPI. This is for Python package index. This is where you host Python packages, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a more secure way that does not require long leaf password API token to share with external system. Meaning you can use this for your GitHub Action, for your internal CI/CD if you have a public project, or whatever script you use. So yeah, mostly for CI/CD, but so you use this to protect yourself from what's the term for it called? Supply chain attack. So for example, you can have it for specific GitHub action, all that, so that it can actually tighten your who and what can publish the packages. So better security lah. So I'm gonna move on. This one is from you, Tristan.
What is this? Oh yeah, it's just a pricing. Yeah. So so Chilion can help you. You can just install Tailscale on your computer, and you'll be able to help
You install, then you give me the link.
Yeah, it's a lot easier. You don't even need to install his keys. Just give him the
Give me the
like
link.
a Tailscale like.
But this
just
is
prove his.
What is also useful for me now is that most of my circle, I have a lot of people in my circle that is more of a indie type, contractors, freelancers, indie developers. This is useful because the free most of them is 1 to 3 users. Then we just then most of us work alone anyway. We can
even for ourselves is that I no longer have to port forward any of my servers. So for game server, the Foundry that I have, which is a website, now I'm using Cloudflare Tunnel.
Yep.
So and for some of my in order to control like my 3D printers and my home server, including the NAS, is that I have all of them signed into Tailscale.
Right.
So I know these days there is no more port forward on my home network.
And so now it's using a VPN as an actual VPN, because nowadays when you say VPN, oh, it's so that you can use Netflix US if you're not in the US. But the VPN is actually
Correct.
for like a virtual private network, which is exactly for
Yeah,
this
it's for
purpose.
accessing internal
It's
resource actually.
and for
It's a
IoT, it
network
really makes
separate from
sense.
public. Mm-hmm.
And we don't have the IPv4 limitation as well.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
it's a
So
network separate from a private one. So now, yeah, so Tailscale now, before it was 20, now you have 100
yeah,
devices, which is
Yeah.
like you don't have to keep shuffling things around.
And
Because I
and
have Tailscale installed in. Mhm.
there's an open source server that compatible with the Tailscale client,
Yeah,
which is called HateScale,
yeah.
which
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
they got codes contributed by the Tailscale core developers.
Yeah,
right.
So
which is
we use
fine.
that.
Like because if you're using head scale, you're not using tail scale resources, right?
Yeah,
Which
Yep.
is fair that
yeah,
they're not
Correct.
paying for it, so it's fine that they can do that. Um, and they can focus on their core offering, which is like just seamless. You just log
yeah.
in, and then now you can manage your open. You
And
don't
it's
have
a
to
reverse
Yep.
manage
tunnel,
the
so
person.
you don't need to. Good and bad is you don't like, especially that like in older sysadmin kind of a control environment, you don't have to beg for them
Yep.
to open the port for you these days.
Correct.
Yeah. So I have Tailscale installed on all my phones, all my VMs,
Yeah,
like VMs, also like not just local VMs, but also like
everything.
VMs,
I have
like
Tailscale.
Mhm.
yeah,
It's so
small.
easy. Like
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
adapting it, Tailscale is so easy. It's just I immediately had. Previously, I was using OpenVPN. Then I switched to WireGuard. This thing
Hmm.
still
Yep.
requires to be hosted somewhere with open port.
Yeah,
So with Tailscale, it's just I've just immediately throw all this away, and setting up is so easy. Just install and log in.
yeah.
Just so you know, we are not sponsored by Tailscale. Nobody
So
sponsored us.
I
It's
don't
just
mind.
a
Everything
like
is being
piece of good
sponsored by
software,
Swingme.
Yeah.
and
Sponsored by
the
Swingme
additional
and
ones,
Chile. Uh-huh.
the pricing changes just make it a lot easier to adopt for personal use, because you have a lot of
Yep.
devices, you have a lot of things, which is, I think, is
Correct.
their goal, a marketing goal. Because
Yep.
if you're using it yourself, and then your company
Yep.
like asks, hey, what's a good VPN, you're already using it,
Yep.
or maybe majority of your tech friends are already using it, you might as well suggest, hey,
Yep.
let's just use Tailscale. Because you can't it's
Correct.
not really easy to use like Tailscale together with another VPN like FortiGuard or
Mm.
Fortinet or something like that, right? You have to
Yes.
like disable one in order to connect to the other VPN. So just for convenience, if you already have Tailscale on all of your devices, you might as well just ask your
I
company
have no
to
idea what
install
sort
that.
of magic things they did is that they somehow Tailscale work better than previously. We actually still have it parallel in order to
Hmm.
Mhm.
access the Office server via
Hmm.
WireGuard. Of course,
Oh.
Hmm.
Tailscale is based on WireGuard, but it performed much better than WireGuard.
Mm.
Correct.
Yeah, like I have issue accessing my Office from mobile network,
Right.
but it's fine
I think
on Tailscale. In a more in a worse environment, where worse networking situation, is that Tailscale perform better.
yep.
I have no idea why yet. You might have to investigate and look
Yeah, which is
into
why somebody had to
what's
pay
the
them, isn't
actual
it?
source.
Correct. So next thing is Bcache FS, new cloud file system. So yeah, that's about it. So the first one is okay. I actually asked to go Bart. Appearing Bart is open now. Uh, so first thing is, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Oh yeah, here you are. I visited Bart.com. Blah blah. Tell skill. No 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 no. This one. Who prompted? Who is Sina project? Okay.
Yeah,
I think we lost that.
they,
Doesn't matter. Let's
it's
do it. Okay.
hallucinate. Like Han say, it
Yes.
Mm.
hallucinated. The word is right. It hallucinate more than ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
And and for science these days, I use it to check my discrete mathematics homeworks.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT often perform better than Bart. Somehow Bart will try very hard to give you an answer, and
Yeah.
of course sometimes it look right, but if you look closer, it's a gibberish.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like Yeah, like in the case of who is DevKami,
Like, who the hell is these people?
Wait, your name
Who
is
the
gone
hell?
now. You used to be
Yeah,
CEO, right?
CCO.
yeah,
At least some of them are familiar names.
yeah,
ChatGPT isn't that much better, but
yeah. I know.
on
And
this at least, it's not
I cannot do Bing chat because
the very
I'm not
the
on.
the very dangerous things is that people advertise these LLM services as a search engine, which I'm really afraid of.
Yeah. Okay, they decide that they do not know about devkami.com. I
What
accept that.
we had the website since quite a while ago.
They decide lah. Okay. Who is who is involved in devkami.com? Okay, they decide not to do this, which is cool. But I can't. For now, I cannot actually do. I cannot actually do a Bing chat, but I already do something here. So I already did the same question just now. This one is on OpenAI and LangChain. I struggle a bit just now because someone decided to change the API significantly. So I had to change some code, which is very annoying. Uh, so, I, so I asked a question, what is DevKami? Which they showed the answer just now. DevKami provide tutorial resource for developers with feature for software development. Unfortunately, I don't have a good way to do this. Uh, who
Do you want Bing
what
chat? I can
out
quickly share you this key.
community is what tech community? What tech community is available? Is listed. Uh, what is the best tech community in Malaysia? Okay, I'm going to put this. I do not know whether it works. Then I'm going to show you the cost. I'm going to regret the cost. Oh yeah, I do. Why? Okay, so I just got said where I just suddenly switched to BART. So I switched to BART to show this thing because all
Bart
this.
seem to
Yep.
be able to generate better source code.
I'll share you
Correct.
Bing as well. Let me know.
Correct.
I'll share it
You share Bing first.
there,
You share
and
Bing first. I go stop for now.
so that's Bing.
Yeah.
Apparently, these people are coming from Facebook because so what I like about Bing is that it gives you the sources. It like gives you the one to right. So that's the actual source,
Correct.
and
Correct.
yeah,
Haisat
it looks
Faiz,
like it's
Kamal
from
Mustafa,
Facebook.
uh, at least familiar names.
No, yeah, because it's on our Facebook page. So they're the people in the who are shown on I think
Yeah.
alphabetical or something or the most
I think people that we
active
interview.
there could be.
Yeah.
And so they show up on the Facebook page, and that seems
Correct.
to be one of the sources both for uh like the what is it Bard and for Bing.
Yeah. Yeah. Over. Okay, I'm going
Yeah,
to
so
switch
do you
to
want
the result.
okay, I thought you wanted to explore more of the
Who
questions.
Let's
is
explore more. Let's explore more. Let's explore more.
Yeah. Do they have any guests on their show? Do they have like prompts as well, like pre-made prompts? I like the prompts when exploring because they're likely to have already like answers.
Yeah.
So I guess the prompt here is the Dev Kami podcast guests is the
Sean is
what it
correct.
understood. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
198.
Yeah.
Even the actual one. I guess it's
Nice.
this one.
Google
Uh,
sucks. I will say
mm,
nothing. Please
I
don't.
think no, I think it is. You see, when I asked Bart to tell me, I think this is people that we know. Like I think they probably get the data from Facebook, whoever they like the page,
yeah.
Yeah.
because
Correct.
Or
the
yeah, or on
names
the
are
web
familiar
page. Yeah.
names.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
On the website as well. Oh, apparently we're on Podcast Rocket.
Really?
No, okay, I don't know.
Let's
Why
have a
is
look.
this a source? Why is this a source? Podcasts looking for guests. Oh, it's not there. I don't know. Is this? I'm not sure why this is here.
Okay,
But
let
is
me
this like
take a
an
look.
advertisement? Is this advertising? I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then see.
There's no
This is a.
there's no DevKami in there. Nope.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I don't know why this is suggested, but yeah, how can I suggest a topic or guest for DevKami? Yeah, see, it's I like this one because of the reference links. DevKami contact. So this is the how it understood the question boiled down to there are two ways, really. I want to know. Okay, cool. Yes, you can.
Join the Slack channel.
Do you have an
GM.
email?
We had that, but I'm surprised I forgot about that email address.
Well, okay, cool.
Wait. Yeah, we have that. That
Yeah,
was
okay,
our
cool.
bootstrapping account. I think
Hmm.
DevKami. I no, it's no longer around.
What? So we lost the access to
Somehow
DevKami at
I
gmail.com?
remember
It was.
when we first started with Bootstrap using some stupid account or something.
Mm,
That reminds me to
I don't
update the
have the login to
Cloudflare
that
rules as
that
well.
email. Yeah, so apparently it knows we are having a
This is correct,
podcast.
even on Bart.
Yeah.
And show the following Sunday. Okay.
Oh, but it does say Facebook Live or Twitch, which we don't do anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't have money.
Are we on Spotify even? What is this?
We used to be.
We used to be
In Riverside.
Riverside.
FM?
What's that? I think it's an aggregate.
Mm,
We used to be live on Sunday. Remember?
yeah. Well, okay. Recent topics. This might be interesting. Like, does it actually look into the content of the podcast? Yeah, but yeah, I like the voices.com. Why is this voices.com here? I think these are advertising.
Visit Facebook 11 213 really 212 Apple really.
Shontan seems to be the a very popular topic.
I think that this is
Well,
actually from our post.
Yeah, so at least Sean is not a C++ expert. Sorry,
Yeah.
a C++ guy anymore. He's now an FPGA expert.
Yeah.
So at least Bard is considerate like this. Yeah.
Cool.
So that's how Edge. Because you need to use Microsoft Edge, and I'm using Edge for Ubuntu right now. So Edge
Correct.
beta
So
for Ubuntu.
I didn't install it.
We've gone the whole full circle with Microsoft.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did we do benefits of TypeScript really, and challenges of legacy code? These are interesting.
I'm not sure who added it. I'm checking Cloudflare right now. I'm not sure if Tristan said that we had mp3.devkami.com that points to IPFS.
We might have experimented with those before, so I don't know. I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay, remove it.
Correct.
Oh, so we don't have so it doesn't know what's our most popular episode.
Yeah.
Okay. Apparently, it peaked on 204.
Wait, where devkami.com is hosted?
On Netlify.
Okay.
It's that's why when swimming like pushes to GitHub, Netlify just builds it. It's like an old setup. I think it just auto upgraded itself because we just never paid attention.
So we need Netlify, or we can it suffice to have a GitHub. On GitHub.
Well, it's not on GitHub pages, but Netlify just makes it easier for like setting things up. We don't need Netlify.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I think these are advertising. Oh wait.
Yep, these are advertising.
Oh, sorry. There's a DevKami podcast
14.
interview about
Oh,
FPGAs.
because you had a blog post.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, the
Okay,
blog
this is
post.
probably my blog post. Oh, okay, cool. It is here.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's your blog
It's an
post.
ML14.
Mm, mm.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
dang.
it's
We should break in our
I think
admin account.
I think we have to start shit. I have just if I
wait,
can
what is
find.
this? Currently ranked number 11 in technology category and 76 in overall category.
What's the ranking? What's
Oh,
give me the
what
whole
is
give me the full ranking. Who's the first?
what is this chartable something? I don't know. Chartable page. It says
76.
a screenshot, but it's broken, so I don't know. So I'm not sure how this actually works.
Malay. Oh, 11 in Malaysia in technology, not bad.
Ah, okay.
Feeling smart now.
I don't know. Mm. Well, I guess if you're going to start marketing, I don't know if like screenshots for Bing or like ChatGPT or OpenAI, whatever uh, conversations can are they now considered as proof, right? Like when you start like going for like asking for like say we're going for advertisers. Hey, do you want to advertise on devkami.com? Take a screenshot of it. See, Bing says you are number 11 technology and 76 in overall category. Take a screenshot and then just put it there. I don't know.
Uh,
It's probably going to be like the appeal to authority thing, and
yeah.
yeah.
for some reason AI will
I
be
can't
like
find.
one of the authority to apply for.
Please, the AI, please say thank you to the AI after
Yeah.
you use it. Please say thank you.
Yes. Thank you for that helpful and accurate information.
You
No,
know,
it's
yeah,
not.
I'm imagining like this AIs. They are maintaining their social credit. Like Tristan is
Yeah.
up in the ranks,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
polite user.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah. No, I mean it might be that when you say it's accurate, then maybe they will boost something. I don't know. I'm sure there will be like SEO stuff, right? This is probably
Yeah.
like chat or like what chat AI
Correct.
influencing. Maybe
Okay.
we don't know.
So so with that said, the next technology I will tell you multiple times. I finally got a chance to work with LangChain. So I'm going to show you the
Mm-hmm.
code. Uh, so it's not really the big idea is not really how I would say it very here you are. I won't say it groundbreaking. Also, this is actually communities. It doesn't work that well. Main.py. So, but what it really does is uh, they process the document into different nodes and store it as index, and we use the index to work with OpenAI, right? To work with OpenAI. So with this, then you can ask question about your documents, right? So this is the same API really in a way that you have to store your index, your vectors, then you do your work. So using this language model doesn't mean you are limited with public information. There's actually ways for you to actually integrate with your documents, because I'm going to show you another page, and which goes to one of the page I want to show. I'm going to just full screen this entire screen
so you
this.
think I got only half of your face?
Oh really? Oh, because I crouch very low. Yeah. So that is 28 cents for
Before
the
I
experiment. So this is actually what they do lah.
and
So
and 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 you look like Kilroy just now.
oh cool. So the big idea here is you can. This is essentially the step that people use nowadays to essentially integrate your internal tools with OpenAI. It's not cheap, but it's easier. So, for example, these tools help you load document, text loader, and all that. How to generate embeddings, link to vector stores. Nowadays, you can do that on PostgreSQL, but I do not know how well it support on LangChain, the libraries. Then you can work on files lah. So one of the things they do here is One thing that do extra that I didn't do is that they split the text into category, meaning this kind. Apparently, from what I understand, this thing only works well if you start organizing your information properly. So, for example, if you have files and all that, what you should do is that you should group your indexes, your what, your segment, your paragraphs and all that, so that you can actually put your information in the index properly. Then you can start querying your information. In fact, that this one they just use like ChatGPT 3.5 and it works, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the workflow. I will not say this is the best way because there's no benchmark how well it worked yet, but this is the current method. If you have to integrate, you have to build your own. If you want to integrate a ChatGPT, sorry, not ChatGPT, OpenAI API, OpenAI API here. Let's see how much it grows. This thing doesn't count very quickly. Yeah, 33 cents. You want to use their API, right, to your own document. So this is where OpenAI document is horrible. Yes, it works and all that, but to what they don't tell you is that you should do this kind of thing. This set up your index and all that to make it work with your internal document. Uh, but just know that it does not work 100% of the time. For example, uh, it only works well when you have a lot of information because more data is better. But more data also mean more embeddings and will cost more to use lah with OpenAI lah. But this is what you can use now as of now. Without this can run on my computer because this OpenAI's API, so you use the API to do the work. You're not using your own GPU to do the hard work lah, which I think is very interesting. I think it's worth exploring as of now. Worth exploring as of now.
You know,
So
I asked the
but
same question
huh?
on Bing. You want to see the answer? Like, what's the best
Yeah, so
tech community?
let's switch to you. I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Okay, let's well, so I did it. Same question. What's the best tech community in Asia? Sorry, in Malaysia. Apparently, MDEC is there. KLJS apparently is all
Yep.
there. I didn't know about Penang Tech Dome though,
What is MDEC with
so
community? Sorry,
I don't
they have
know.
nothing to do
I don't know.
with community.
Well, it does. It
I don't
does
know. I think
organize events. Yeah, and forward slash. I didn't know about forward slash, but I guess now I know.
Yep, this
Yeah,
is the
so that
first.
says. Mm.
you know
And
what?
then I
I
asked the
think some
follow on.
of the
Yeah,
uh-huh.
apparently, one definitely one of the best tech podcasts. Uh, but I don't know if DevKami qualifies as a tech community per se. So maybe accurate. Yeah, could be, or
Let
it
me
could
try
be like
asking.
a branding thing.
Because we have two names.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know. Yep. So at least for podcast category, apparently,
Mm.
Bing knows about our position. So yeah, I just wanted to show the difference there on like from what
At least that's a
Sunny
metric we
mentioned.
can work on.
Is being
Yeah. Okay, now with that said, oh yeah, Korea.
But we still
What's
have
interesting
time.
in tech? So in
mm,
Korea, so we're done on everything else, but Korea in tech is very interesting in a way that because you cannot export their map out to another country, because they're literally at war with North Korea, so the Google Map is not as good. So it works better if you use the local map application. Never Map is there, and Never Map is there,
apparently they pronounce
Kakao
it as
Map is
neighbor,
there.
so
Yeah,
it's like neighbor but neighbor.
yeah.
So that's
Yep.
the pronunciation apparently.
It's also their own version of Google for a
Yeah.
reason.
Mm-hmm.
Then Kakao, their Uber exists, but their bigger online car ride-hailing company is actually Kakao, and they actually do by taxi. And the payment can be either it's the old my taxi model before Grab just only do cars based, right? So that exists. So I think that's about it when it comes to technology, really. Culture wise, they are not too different from Malaysia. Actually, I want to say actually,
Mm.
but they are
Uh,
very
But
that's
which
like
part did you go
very
to?
they like their own. So
The
because
capital?
what I noticed is that at Myeongdong and the night market, I realized that all the garbage are grouped at one side of the garbage at one place, and the way they drive is they drive like cycle. So yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I feel that
and
all
this
cities, like all big cities, are very similar. Like if you go
yeah.
to
yeah.
like Paris, if you go to Sao Paulo, you go to like just that's the
Paris
major
is
cities. It's just it looks the same
yeah,
everywhere. Like lots of people, they
correct,
have modern
correct,
buildings.
correct.
It doesn't really
Crazy
give
drivers.
the yeah crazy. It doesn't give the atmosphere of the country, or like at least the what you
Yeah,
were expecting from the country. It's really when you go
correct.
to like the suburbs or the countryside that you find, okay, this is what I felt France was when I was planning my trip there. Or I don't know about Korea,
Yeah,
I haven't been
so
there.
correct. Paris is they don't have night market, but yeah, it's a mess as well for different reason. So Belgium is a
Yeah.
bit weirder.
Mm.
So,
What
but
about
they're
Belgium? Belgium is not that bad, I think.
no, no, it's very cool. It's more organized for reason, right?
Mm.
So the thing is unlike Singapore. know what I mean?
What
If
about
anything, it's not
Singapore is also not
You
that
need
bad.
to elaborate to me.
Yeah.
it's
I mean, they
Singapore is
have an
very
Apple store in
gen-
Singapore. I don't know about Belgium. I didn't see an Apple store in
yeah.
Belgium.
So
They have.
Korea in a way that okay, so I actually go to the night market area most of the time for food. They realize that everyone eat there is like it's really like our pasar malam here. Then at the end of the place, you have one place where they just throw garbage at their own place. It's a mess at that part. So that's one thing about Korea. Uh, then in one thing that Seoul is really interesting in the way that is the way they package the city. So Seoul is built on top of old ancient cities as well. So they actually take the old building, like the old gates and all that, and turn it into attraction and package it into attraction, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they give the money and all that, and they make sure that everyone go to that for the tour and all that, right? So that's how they
Did
work
you go
there.
for one?
Yeah, I go for the one of the old palaces. So
Mm.
the king used to live there. So as a result, you got the whole garden as well.
Is it still a kingdom, the
And
South Korea? I thought they went
no,
democracy.
so after World War II, so the last king or emperor of South Korea uh, is in the 1910s before Japan annexed Korea because of imperialism. Then after World War II, Japan are required to release all those countries. So Korea turns into a territory before go independent. When once
Mm-hmm.
they go independent, they decide to be a republic.
Yeah.
So royalty exists in blood, but they don't have power anymore because the government decided to be a republic.
Do they still
Mm-hmm.
got?
So,
Do you still
huh?
got any perks?
No, I do not believe this is the case. They do the National Museum in Korea do have a lot of artifact around that. So Korea
They're not like the
is not
British
part of China.
Museum.
Correct. Correct. Uh, so if anything, Korea is
Sorry.
also people think that they're part of China. No, they are their own thing. They are always their own thing actually. It just happens that when the Chinese Three Kingdom War happened, they fight all the way to that area. So Korea is actually one of the outer area of China. So it's always their own thing. It just happens that because they're neighbor China and China was the advanced country, a lot of the China culture are brought over there, right? So it's just one of those things that happens.
They call it the
Then it came
Confucius
that
sphere, right? Where they follow
correct.
Confucius.
they do follow Confucianism, they do adopt Buddhism, and they do have struggle to like be more independent away from China, Mongols and all that. They do have the same struggle actually. So it's in a way they are more similar to Japan in a way that it's their own thing. Japan is their own thing. They just happen to adopt Chinese culture at one time. For Korea, it's a lot longer. So they have their own thing. They are also very supportive of their own stuff, etc., etc. So that's the thing about Korea, lah. Otherwise, the city is the same. The train is awesome. I can literally go anywhere on the train. Yeah, lor. So that's fun. That's a fun one. But yeah, there's other thing, but let's not go there. So yeah, okay, we are done. Thanks for listening to my rambling. We should say goodbye now, right?
Okay. I
Uh,
was hoping that I can get Swimming to throw more shade.
Mm.
no. Next week, I'm probably going to talk about the book called Idea Factory. It's actually the history of Bell Labs. It's actually very cool. The book is essentially a story of innovation itself. Then I'm hoping to talk about the system performance book, finally, because that is a damn good book for reasons that people didn't talk about. So with that said, yeah, lor. Well, thanks for listening. I should stop now.
Yep. Good
Four,
night,
three,
folks.
two, one.
See you guys
Good
next
night.
week.